Good afternoon to the Vonna Stewart from LV Stewart Collective, serving the San Antonio area there in Texas, and Christopher Lockridge, one of our loan officers from iFinance Mortgage. Welcome, both of you.
Thank
Happy
you
to
for
be
having me.
here.
Of course, of course. This podcast is one of my favorites, and it's very dear to my heart. It's entitled The Mindset of a Champion. What sets me apart? And we know there's a lot of different realtors out there. There's thousands of realtors, thousands of lenders out there, but there's only one of us.
Mm.
And we want to know what sets you apart in your business and how you help families. And so the purpose of this is so that once we finish getting to know you better, how you got into real estate and really what you do, maybe just a little bit different, is we're going to use this podcast to send you referrals. Because when people approach Christopher and I and they say, you know what, we're looking to purchase in the San Antonio area. Um, do you have any suggestions? Oh, you bet we do. We have LaVonna Stewart. In fact, let me send you a quick podcast of what really sets her apart, why you can trust her, and why you'd be crazy not to work with her. So that's kind of how we use our podcast. How's that sound?
That sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, by way of introduction, LaVonna, how did you get into real estate? Why real estate?
Wow. So I would say it was necessary for me to get in real estate because my grandfather was a loan officer and
Oh, wow.
he owned properties in San Antonio and he passed away in
Mm,
2003.
sorry.
Yes, thank you. Because there were some issues that came with, the properties and wanting to be there for my grandmother, as well as another family issue with my father-in-law and his family property. I just kept coming into these situations and I said, you know what? I just need to have a license to have the education, to have that knowledge to move forward and be able to connect them to the right people to help them. And that's what brought me into real estate.
That's a compelling reason. And what time frame that you actually got licensed and came into real estate?
January 2016.
Wow.
Okay. Wow. So you've been in the business quite a while, and you've no doubt seen the good times in real estate and in the market. You've seen the challenging times, and we'll talk a little bit about that as well. So, well, thank you for
So,
sharing
love,
how you came in.
yeah. And that's a beautiful story. 2016 is a good amount of time. So I'm sure you've seen a lot of market changes and
Yes.
had a couple of specialty groups that you work with. So tell us, Savannah, uh, can you share any market updates with us or even share with us any specialty groups you are working with right now?
Okay. Specialty groups that I'm working with, I do have a soft spot for first-time homeowners.
Us
Being
too.
that, yeah, being that my grandfather passing away actually inspired me since he told me before he passed to purchase my first home. And I was so scared that after he passed away, I told myself, you know what? I have to do this. And I purchased my first home when I was 22 years old. And that led me to my specialty group, which is first time homeowners, as well as the realtor that helped me. She's also known as a realtist. She was my broker before I became a broker. And so we're still in close contact in real estate. So she's one of my mentors.
That's
That's
beautiful.
amazing. So you mentioned a real test. Tell us about that. What does that mean?
Okay,
Curious.
so a realtist is actually a Black real estate professional. And once upon a time in 1947, this minority trade organization was formed in order for minorities, specifically African American, the Black community, so that they could network and serve the community. Because there was a time when our community was not able to be part of NAR, the National Association of Realtors.
Realtors. Yeah.
Thank God now we are able to. And so the organization still exists because there's still challenges in the community. However, it's really great to see the networking, the referrals, as well as the spotlights that are shined on our community, letting lenders and other professionals know about some of our needs in our community.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that and taking us back into history a little bit to see, where we used to be and now where we're at and how we're
Right.
flourishing. Um, as a side point to that, another minority group that, even from the lender perspective, that has been underserved throughout the United States is also the Hispanic group. And
Yes.
there's a brand new Hispanic, it's called HOME, is the acronym Hispanic
Mm,
Organization of Mortgage Experts.
Mm.
And myself and our broker Joe have just joined that. Actually, we joined when they first started about 6 months ago. And their sole goal is to help educate loan officers who have been underserved, undertrained, undervalued, quite frankly, and have been, um, how would you say, they've been fighting issues of self-limiting beliefs, self-doubt. I'm not as good as another loan officer that's not of our ethnic background. And so, how exciting it is to be a
Yeah.
part of something like that, where we can actually help and empower people and give them the confidence they need to say, you are every bit as confident, as qualified. So, thank you for sharing that background. That's
Yeah.
very, very interesting.
no problem. You're welcome.
So, we talk a little bit about a champion. And, a champion can, comes in all forms. I think moms are the greatest champion in the world.
Mhm.
Moms are the hardest working people in the family. You know, they're taking care of the household, they're taking care of if they're married, their husbands and then kids and running the household, making sure they worry about everything because sometimes the guys we just don't do that very well, and we should. Moms are champions. A lot of times people think of sports and sports heroes. They're champions. Okay, champions are winners. They win. So in this particular podcast, we're talking about the mindset that goes in to being a champion and to be successful at what we do. And so we wanted to get your thoughts, get your opinion on what does having the mindset of a champion mean to you? And more importantly, how does that affect your daily routine, how you carry out business?
Mm, That's a great question. Well, I know for me, which I can only speak for myself,
Of course.
I do believe in a higher power. I do know that I have to start my day there, even if it's to say thank you and please prepare me for what you will bring my way, even if it's connecting with, someone who may need, whether it's service or need someone to just listen to. I have to make sure to thank him and ask him to prepare me for my day. So that's where I start. I'm also big in, um, I would say, working out. I'm trying to get better.
I think we all,
We all
for
are.
sure.
Yes, yes. As well as having a routine, know that I have to be in my office for a certain time period in order for me to take care of things and my clients and things of that nature. So I have to have a routine.
Love it. Now, LaVonna, I had the privilege to talk to you just a little bit before. And kind of there's a couple of things that I really appreciate about you and just the mindset that you have. Right now, you have a mindset goal. You're going to be starting your brokerage and you're looking to go ahead and bring on a couple of more brokers to it. And John mentioned earlier, just being a mom is a champion to itself. But you're a mom that's also having her family work with her in this business for it. What has helped you to keep your mind focused on doing that type of routine and really helping and moving your family in that part too as they continue in their careers?
I would say what my grandfather has instilled in me is what I operate by every day, which is legacy. When
Mm,
it comes to, I know that I want to leave something for my children. I want them to be involved in the business. I want them to be involved in their community as well. I want them to be a whole person, so that they add value no matter where they go, even if it is a job outside of the brokerage, that they are adding value.
I love that.
That
Love that.
that's really well said. A whole person. And you know how many, and I know we all see it. Um, we get kids that come out of high school, they come out of college, and the life skills that they still have not learned, first of all, at home, let alone coming from school, the education system. And it's appalling to see so many youths that have potential, and yet they have not been instilled proper values, especially when it comes to hard work, helping people and then tapping into a higher power. you know Christopher and I relate to that. We
Hmm.
too start our days off in a meditative fashion, and showing gratefulness for what we have, and um, asking for a blessing, to be very intentional about our day. And please let us help another family or two or three
Yeah.
on their journey. And as it
Right.
relates to this business, of course, we're grateful for many other things too. So we
Right.
resonate with what you're saying there. And what a beautiful thing to start off your mindset with gratefulness and
Hmm.
appreciation to our creators. So thank you for mentioning that. That really, really resonates and calls home to us. We
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Thank you.
LaVonna, you mentioned you've been in the industry since 2016, correct?
Yes.
So you've seen a lot of ups and downs. You've had the pandemic and all the turn for that, even the finances right now. There's a lot of things that have happened. So, what pivots and adjustments did you make during these challenging financial times to stay successful as you've already done?
Well, I know during the pandemic, um, I went mostly online for a lot of my consultations. There were still some people that wanted to meet in person, whether we were meeting at a new build, a site. Also, I noticed that during that time, I had to adjust myself
Mm,
to more than online, just having those touches and streamlining, my business processes because, there's so many people, you have to meet people where they are.
it's true. Very
And
true.
then there are some people who they didn't do well with online. So, making sure to protect myself and still make sure to go out and meet them where they were. And then thinking in my mind how to best serve them because they just didn't have the tools to operate online. So having to pivot.
I love that.
Yeah, that's important. And you know what I find too, LaVonna? is, you know, the the businesses and the business owners, the brokers, the agents, the lenders that made the quick pivot, the quick adjustment. Yes, the world shut down. Now what do we do?
Right.
They went to Zoom mostly, or Microsoft Teams, whatever electronic means, FaceTime, WhatsApp. They made that adjustment immediately to keep their businesses moving, to keep the consumers, letting them know we're still in business here. We got you covered. We, but what I found too, even after the main part of the pandemic was maybe declared over, a lot of people still hid behind Zoom.
Yeah.
They were afraid to get out there,
Yep.
go meet people, belly to belly, they call it, right? Face to face,
Yep.
shake hands, look people in the eyes. Now, Zoom is nice because you can still look people in the eye, but there's nothing that replaces that face to face, that personal touch. And it's for those that have figured that part out. Yes, we pivoted to Zoom. Yes, we do Zoom and electronic means when necessary, whether we're out of
Mhm.
state or we're maybe it's just someone's not feeling well and they stay in home, but they still want to take care of their meeting, whatever it is. But now those that have pivoted to get back in the field, roll up their sleeve, and Christopher and I read something the other day that was really cool. It was actually a podcast, and we're going to share that with you. It came from
Okay.
UWM. It came from one of the top brokers in the country, and it was entitled "Be an Outside Cat." I was like,
Mm.
"What? What does that mean?" And as we got into it, it gave the comparison between an inside cat who sits there all fat and happy, their food, they know where their food dish is at. They got a nice comfy couch or a little bed. It's warm inside. They don't have to fight the elements. And then you take the outside cat, might not have an owner. They have to fend for themselves. They have to fight, hunt, and kill to protect themselves, but also to get food for them, maybe even for their little babies if they have them. And we likened, or the speaker likened that to what we have to do to keep pivoting in these challenging financial times as the market and the government keeps going like this. We have to be that outside cat, get out there, roll up our sleeves, set up appointments, meet people, follow up
Yep.
on leads like we've never done so before, and make the phone ring. Don't sit back in our cushy little offices and say, man, I wonder when the phone's going to ring. So we wanted to share that with you, and maybe just ask you, what does your daily routine look like when you wake up and you're a broker, and what is your give us a sampling of kind of what your daily routine looks like.
What my daily routine looks like. Wow.
Hmm.
So, um, I
We're gonna get to
have
the
to,
nitty gritty.
oh, the nitty gritty. Okay. So after I do my meditation and making sure to give back to my creator and just say thank you, and ask for my blessings for the day, connect me with whoever you send my way. I move forward with getting ready to come into the office, and I have my to-do list from the day before because there's always something to do,
Oh yeah.
to make sure that I have my contact list so that I can hit my numbers for the day. I do have certain days that I call certain people. So whether I'm calling my past clients, I'm following up on leads, um, I try to do that between 9 and 11.
Great.
And even if I dedicate 1 hour specifically to that task, it still ends up being between 9 and 11.
Yeah.
And, I try to make sure to also have a time set aside to follow up on any fires that I have. I try to keep those to a minimum.
Hmm.
Yes. And I do have to have prospecting time, outside of that, where I am networking with other professionals as well.
That's great. How does social media play into your day?
Well, I am very old school. I am trying to get better with my social media. I will be 100% honest with you. I have been blessed with sending out a constant communication, whether it's text message, email, a newsletter. I have people reaching out to me, a pretty good ecosystem and a good referral-based network. So when it comes to social media, I post, but I don't post as much as I should.
Oh, well, you know what? I think all of us could maybe do a
Yes,
little
we
bit
are.
better with that. But one of the things we've been trying to do is we post our testimonials as well.
Yes.
Those are really important. And now a lot of our buyer clients, your clients, who we help and service and close the loan, we have testimonial links that we can send them back. Makes it very simple, and they click on it right from their phone. They can do a simple little video testimonial. Hey,
I love that.
Christopher, just wanted to thank you so much for uh, being the loan officer of my dreams. You really helped out so much, and LaVonna was amazing. And it's a video testimonial. And then when they hit save, it goes right to our Google reviews, like everything. So that's one of the way, and then we can use it and push it right to our social. So
That is
celebrating
amazing.
every little thing, even throughout the day. Maybe you just got off the phone, or you just had a great podcast with Christopher and John.
Right.
You jump on your social, or I just create a video. I take it real quick and say, "Hey everyone, hope you're having a great day. Just had a great podcast. The mindset of a champion, what sets you apart. Be on the lookout for it. You're going to see what really sets me apart, what I do a little bit differently. Have a great day, everyone." Boom. Post. Stuff like
Amazing.
that. Yeah, it's just
Yes. Thank you for sharing.
simple things that really help. Um, and in the interest of you getting back to your clients and servicing them, I know we said we would be brief on this podcast. Can you tell us our last question? What advice would you have for others who are either just coming into this business or some that have maybe been in it for quite a while? What advice would you have for them to stay successful?
I would say the first thing would be to know that as this is an ever-changing market as well as a career, always be willing to keep your mind open
Mm,
to meeting new people, new possibilities, new clients, whether it's a new professional, learning something new, network, um, education. We have to stay on top of so many things in this industry and not to give up because when you're networking with other professionals, that keeps you sharp. That
I
keeps
was
you
writing
sharp
those
to keep.
down. These are
Yes.
good points. These are nuggets. I'm writing them down.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah,
Because I learned
that's
so much from other people, even clients. I learned
Mhm.
how to communicate a little bit better with them.
yeah, always something to learn, something fresh that makes us better, that we can pay it forward and we can
Pay it
share it with
forward.
others to be successful, right?
So true.
Yeah.
Yes, and plug into our community, live, work, and play in your market, wherever that is, be hyper focused, hyper local, as I've been hearing so much lately about.
Ooh, I
Hmm.
like that.
Yes.
Hyper local.
Yes.
I got it. Well, thank you so much, LaVonna. This is when Christopher and we do many, many podcasts. We speak with many people of all backgrounds, of, all different reasons why they came into real estate. And I would say, by and large, the main reasons that we hear is to come in and help people. People don't talk about, oh, I came in because I heard you can make a lot of money. That's a big red flag when it comes to
Right.
Christopher and I. Um, because in this business we can decide who we want to work with a lot of times, right? And sometimes we're paired with people just through a transaction, and it just happens, like let's say with the seller's agent. But in general, we can kind of choose who we would like to work with. We resonate with you. We really do. Christopher
Yeah.
came back just raving about your coffee meeting there, and I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait. I said, we got, let's schedule this. Let's go.
That is amazing. We had a very good meeting, a
Yes,
very
we
good
did.
meeting. I'm grateful for both of you.
Oh, likewise. And we can't wait to take you back with us. And Latia, your daughter, who's joining you in real estate. And so great to meet her as well earlier. And I think you'll be blown away by what you will see, what you will feel, the energy, the mindset, the new loan programs. We take our realtor partners out there because there's no secrets. We are transparent. We want you to know as much as we know about the loan process, marketing, things that'll help grow your business. Because if we help you grow your business, you can better serve your clients in your community. Hyper local, I wrote down. Thank you
That's
so
awesome.
much for
Thank
Thank you
you.
joining
very
us
much.
today. Yeah, we're really grateful. LaVonna Stewart from LV Stewart Collective, serving the San Antonio, Texas area. And we really look forward to watching and seeing you on your journey to helping more families in your community. And Christopher and I stand ready to provide any assistance that you ever need. So we're grateful for you as well. And we wish
Mhm.
you a very successful end of this week. And as you march into next week successfully too.
Thank you. You too. And you as well, Christopher.
Thank you, LaVonna. Really appreciate you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You
You
too.
too.